and welcome to my how to do handstand tutorial video. We're now making renovation here, so I have now really the space to make a video about that actually. The first thing, the biggest tip right away, I want to make a short video, is practice. This is the very first thing that you have to keep in mind. It's all about the practice. When I started practicing the handstands, I think about 1.5 years ago, and during that time I basically did it every single day. So I make my yoga practice, and afterwards, after I finished it, usually playing around a little bit with different kinds of handstands, just because I like to practice handstands. It's not a part of my yoga practice, it's just a fun thing to do for me because I really wanted to make it, and then I just practiced it, and then eventually it was all happening. So the first thing, consistency with your practice. If you have the time, do it every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, even if you just like walk through the corridor at your office and you just right away make a handstand somewhere. So at least I did that. So because you also get addicted to that kind of feeling somehow. The second thing is, it's all about the core, okay? And I think that's the hardest thing, or the most difficult to understand, because you cannot really explain. I mean, like, people were explaining that to me all the time. It's all about the core and the inner core muscles and the pelvic floor, and you just have to tighten it up and squeeze it in and engage, and but this is, I think it helps a lot, like when jumping into handstand, to think about the core muscles and the pelvic floor, all the muscles there, just like pulling it up. I think it helps to think about it, that later when you catch balance, that you can work a little bit more with your core. And then when you develop the whole strength there, which comes with time and really, really fast if you're really practicing, then you will be also able to play around with like pressing yourself up into a handstand. This is actually better because then you have not so much momentum that you fall over, okay? So it's easier to maintain the balance when you're pressing yourself up very carefully and slowly, of course, instead of just jumping into it where you can fall over. I started practicing at the wall. This is the third thing. Start practicing at the wall if you're not very secure, but as soon as you're feeling a little bit more secure with like just turning around and falling down, and you don't have to fall into a back bend, you can just like turn around to one side and land on your feet. Because also in the back bend, I mean, it's nice when you can do it, but it's like very, very harsh for the back. You don't want to make those kind of sudden movements into a back bend, especially not when you're not warmed up. Practice at a wall to feel a little bit more comfortable, right? Especially at the beginning. And then the sooner the better you go away from the wall, not to, like depend so much on it. Okay, so I will show you the different kinds later on. And then, yeah, just play outside. When you have nice weather, you can do it on the grass, for example. So that would be the best condition. Practice on your yoga mat when you're inside. At the beginning, you can just try to do it at the wall. But I would show you, just no, because I cannot set the... Oh wait, maybe I can. Wait. Just jump up against the wall with one foot as support, and then you just try to catch a little air time. Just balance it out with the other leg. You can also change them. So change the legs a little bit, and the other one. I will say a little bit more to the L shape. Then when you're more advanced in your handstands, you can also try it away from the wall. So at the beginning, I would start with the L handstand. So you're getting the momentum, you're jumping into the handstand, but you keep one leg split, like in the perpendicular from your other leg. And like this, you can catch the balance a little bit more easy. You can play around with the legs more, and especially with the muscles of the core, right? So I will show you that in a minute. So here you're also jumping, catch it. It looks like my foot will be on the wall, but you can do whatever you want, also without the wall. Try to hook the knee inside the chest, and then you can also try change it. Very important here, tuck your tailbone under, so you're not having a hollow back at this stage. Another thing would be to jump into the handstand with the feet together, right? Just that you have the feet together at your stomach, at your hips and at your stomach. That also makes it easier to control your body. And then from this position, when you catch a little air time, you can straighten the legs step by step. Put your feet together and jump into the handstand. And yeah, bring your knees again to the chest, and then with time you can try to strengthen your legs. Tuck your tailbone under here, that's very important. What the hell's going on? Another very good thing is playing with your forearm stance. In forearm stance you can also have, because you don't have such a huge body to control, you can work a lot with the strength of your belly, just to get the strength there, and in the shoulders and in the arms. Come to the wall and place your elbows on shoulder width apart, so directly under your shoulders. You can measure that with your arm length, underarm length. Then come up, walk as far as you can to your arms, and then try to drag yourself up by putting the leg to the wall or just in the air, so that the other leg has to follow. Okay, the position of your hand is really personal preferences. Of course, it is the best also for the alignment, for your whole structure, when you place the hands directly under your shoulders, right? And I keep my hands very straight. The middle fingers are parallel to each other. Some people like to place their hands a little bit more like this, some more like to the inside. The most important thing also for your wrists is keep the hands under your shoulders. And speaking of the wrists, it helps a lot in the meantime when you just loosen them up a little bit, okay? So make some exercises for the wrist in between. Take yourself a lot of time. You can do this, you can do that, right? You can just... What you can also do is you can place them under your feet. So step on them if you have the flexibility, if it's comfortable on your hamstrings and if you're in your lower back, you can try that. But you could as well, just in between, just try it like this and that. Yeah, those would be my first tips to starting out with the handstand. I think I will also, I'm now myself trying a little bit more around with the press-ups, but I think I will include that a little bit later on, maybe in another video, also when I am more advanced in this, because up to now I'm just playing around. I really hope this video was helpful for you. Please leave your questions and comments down below. Like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you don't already have. And I see you in my next video.